teach you the thief's story. You should know that this story has been written by Russian Bond. He is a famous story writer. He lives in Dehradun. Okay, in this story, the writer or the author wants to convey a message. What is it? A bad, a thief can be changed into a good person. It shows the importance of learning. It shows the importance of education. To be educated is quite another thing. An educated man can achieve his or her goal or target. In this whole lesson, we will read how a thief, a boy, is changed into a good man. Okay, let us start the lesson. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of that late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. So, do you? He replied, which put me off a moment because at that time I was rather thin. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. What is your name? Hari Singh. I lied. I took new name every month that kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. Okay, so you should know in this story there are only two main characters. One is Thief, who is of 15 years, and another is Anil. He is 25 years old. That thief does not tell his real name, and Anil, who was 25 years old, was very kind, sweet, and tall. Okay, when the thief met Anil, he was watching a wrestling match. After seeing Anil, one can realize that he is a good man, and that man can easily be cheated. Okay, it is good for thief to be to make friend him, but for this flattery was necessary. Flattery means false appreciation, false praise was necessary. The thief raised Anil and said, "Hello, brother. You are looking like a wrestler." Okay? Anil thinks he is not a wrestler. He is lean and thin, but Anil wanted to appreciate him. Okay? Anil asked his name. His name. Anil asked the name of thief, and the thief replied, Hari Singh. The thief knows every month he changes his name, and he befalls anyone, and it is not necessary for him to tell his actual name because he wanted to escape from police, and he also wanted to escape from earlier person to whom he cheated. Okay? But after then, Anil started to say about wrestling. The thief does not know anything about wrestling. He simply nodded his head. Okay? And after then, Anil left the place and he turned towards his home. But the thief followed him. Anil asked, "Why do you follow me?" The thief says, "Will you feed me?" Anil said, "Will you cook?" Okay. The thief replied, "Yes." Okay. And Anil took thief to his home. His home was situated on Yamuna Street South. Okay. He says, the thief, you can sleep at balcony at night. Okay. So it is here. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Hello again, he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. Appealing means praising, in earnest, polite smile. Okay, I want to work for you, I said, but I can't pay you. The thief said he wanted to work for him. Anil replied, I can't pay you money. Okay. And after then, I thought for that over a time, perhaps I had missed this by men. I asked, can you feed me? Can you cook? As I told you earlier, I can cook. I lied again. When Anil asked, can you cook? He replied, yes, this he was telling lie. The he was telling lie. He does not know how to cook. Okay. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. He took me to his room over the Jamna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just hung around smiling in my most appealing way and he could not help laughing. Later, he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach me to cook. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I tea, made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying. The daily supply usually making a profit of about a rupee a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Okay, so there is Anil's home that was situated on the Jamna Street shop. Okay. So at that night, the thief had to cook, but he told lie he does not know how to cook. Okay, but but Anil gave the whole food to stray dog because food was tasteless. Okay, and he also said, the thief, you may go, don't stay here. But what happens? The thief smiled and he reached near Anil, and after then, Anil was pleased. He tapped his head and said, never mind. If you can't cook, I will cook. I will teach you how to cook. Okay. Next day, he taught him how to cook. After that, he also taught him how to write his name, and Anil told him that he will teach him how to write the whole sentence, number, addition, and subtraction. Okay. After listening this thing, the thief was very happy. He thought, once I will be educated, I will I will earn and I will achieve my target. Okay, here we get the change of thinking in his mind, in Hari's mind. Now he turned towards learning. He wants to be educated. Okay, and every day, every day the thief makes tea for Anil and he goes for daily supply to market. Okay, every day he saves 2 or 4 rupees. Okay, but Anil never pay attention to these things. Okay, and he knows everything. Anil knows everything, but he never said anything. Okay, okay. And another thing was there. Anil also thought that he did not pay regular payment. Okay, and Anil was working for a newspaper. Whenever he writes any article, he got huge amount. Okay, once Anil got a check and he spends whole money with his friends in party. Whenever he gets check or money, it was the day of celebration for Anil and his friends. Okay? So let us start. Anil made money by fates and stars. He would borrow 1 week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate it. Seems he wrote for magazine, a queer way to make a living. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. He had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to door, and I could come and go as I pleased. He was the most trusting person I had ever met, and that is why it was so difficult to rob him. It's easy to rob a greedy man because he can be can afford to be robbed, but it is difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he does not even notice he has been robbed, and that takes all the pleasure out of the work. Well, it is time I did real work. I told myself I'm out of practice, and if I don't take money, I will be waste. I will only waste it on he will only waste it on his friend. After all, he does not even pay him. Okay, now listen to, as I told you, Anil does not get any regular income. First thing, second, every week he borrows money and he repays it by taking from other person's money. He, once he got, he checked and he wastes money. Okay, so one evening he came with a small bundle of notes. Okay? He has sold his article to a publisher and he kept money under the mattress. Okay? And now, in the meantime, the thief had been working for Anil about 1 month, and and he does not want to miss this opportunity. Okay? Anil had given him key to the door. Okay, and now the thief has become the most trusting man for Anil. The thief can go, the thief can come anytime, whenever he wishes. Now listen to me. This is important line, and that is why it was so difficult to rob. It is easy to rob a greedy man. He said this is the thinking of this the thought of Harish Singh. He says it is easy to cheat greedy man because he is he can afford it. But it is really very difficult to cheat such a careless man like Anil because he will never notice it and he will never worry. Okay, so this was the thinking of the thief. Okay, so and now he was out of practice. The thief was out of practice. Okay, and he also thinks if he does not take money or does not steal money from Anil, he will waste the whole money. After then, you will get some inner portions of the lesson. How does the thief think Anil will react to the theft? Okay, what does he say about the different reactions of people when they are robbed? Does Anil realize that he has been robbed? Okay, these are the different questions. These are three questions up to here, and I think you are now able to answer these questions. Next day, I will teach you the further part of this lesson, the thief's story. Okay, thank you to all of you. Please like me, share, subscribe, and comment. Okay.